Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to go over all of the books I have read in February. Now I am filming this with a few days left in February. I'm going out of town in 2 days, so I'm trying to film this now. I do plan on finishing 2 books before the end of February, but we'll get to that at the end. I'm just gonna grab from the top. On the very top, we're starting with a good one, Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I gave this book 5 stars. I loved it so much. I thought the dynamic between the main male character and the main female character was so good. He is a florist and she is a wedding planner, but it's a second chance romance. And I think this book made me realize that I need to read more second chance romances because it was so good. It flips back and forth between the present and the past. In the present's point of view, it's in her point of view. In the past, it's in his point of view when they were together. And I just loved it so much. I love this man. And I know there's a complaint that this man, that the spicy scenes, that he was, you know, off the mark or a little too quick, if you know what I'm saying. I will say that I don't need every book that I read the man is just like 0 to 100 real quick, you know what I'm saying. He is so sweet and loving. He comes off grumpy to the world, but he is so sweet deep down, and he is the ride or die type person. And it's not like he didn't want to please her either. I loved this book so much. It is definitely a standout, and it is a 5-star read for this year. Next, we have a book that I didn't particularly enjoy, and that's Bride by Ali Hazlewood. Now I will say that so far right now this is a DNF. And that's not to say that I won't circle back around eventually. Right now, I'm struggling to get into it. And I DNF'd it at 50 pages, which, I mean, that's pretty decent. Like, if I'm at 50 pages and I'm, like, just angry while I'm reading it, that's usually a good sign that it's just not for me. But I have heard people say that once the main male character and main female character actually get together in the book and they're like, you know, we're hearing the story on the page, that it gets better. But I don't know if it's just that is the problem. I don't know if I enjoy Ali Hazlewood's writing. The only other book that I have read by her was The Love Hypothesis, and I didn't love that one either. I know about this book. It's like, it's trying to be a fantasy, but at the same time it has these mixed elements of like the real world, which is totally fine. I love books like that. For example, Bloodsport is something like that. We'll get into this one, but it just is in a way that doesn't click with me. I know a lot of people love this book, so you're just gonna have to read it and decide if you like it or if you don't, and maybe one day I'll circle back around to it. Next, we have Pretty Rings and Broken Things by Kat Singleton. This is her newest release, and I really enjoyed it. This is an arranged marriage, a billionaire romance. There is a one-bed trope and an age gap, and it is so good. I love Archer in this book. Archer is like the ideal man. He tells you what he wants. He's an effective communicator. He will do anything for his woman, even if it is technically an arranged marriage. And one thing that I really enjoyed about this book is the build up of the characters being in this arranged marriage, but coming to terms with that they might actually be okay with the fact that they're married. And I really enjoyed this read. Now, this book, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I was scared because I haven't read too many dark romances before. The only other dark romances I have read was the Cat and Mouse series, Haunting and Hunting Adeline. Haunting Adeline was okay. Hunting Adeline is still sitting in my DNF pile. And I think I've read a few other dark romances, but like I'm talking like real dark romances. So I was a little nervous starting this. I don't know what wild hair I got up my ass, but I decided to listen to it on Audible, and I actually was so invested in the storyline. Were there some points in this book that were like, oh my god, what is happening? What is happening here? I don't know about this. Yes. Was it too much? I don't think so. Like, if we're comparing it to the Cat and Mouse series, I don't think The Ritual was as bad. Now, I've heard some things about The Sinner, that The Sinner by Chantal Tessier, the next book in this series, is a lot worse. So we'll see. But this revolves around the lords and their secret society, and they're going out and unaliving people and are doing some pretty questionable things. And they are possessive men who get awarded ladies, like they get a woman awarded to them and they pretty much dominate that woman. It's all consensual. It's all like the women want to be picked by the lords. So I enjoyed this more than I thought I was going to. I vow, you vow, we vow. You know what I'm saying? And I do want to continue the series. We'll see how The Sinner goes. A lot of people say if you don't like The Sinner, push through to The Sacrifice because it gets better. Ooh, girl! Rise and Fall by AJ Nicole. Yes, this is the second book in the series. The first book is Crash and Burn, and I say Crash and Burn walked so Rise and Fall could run. I was laughing, I was giddy, I was so excited to see where this relationship was going, and I really enjoy this read a lot. The third book in the series is actually coming out next month, March 15th, and I'm so excited to read it because AJ Nicole, she is an indie author, and you can just tell in her books that her writing is just getting so much better. And the way I was laughing and giddy about this book, I need that in the next book, and I'm so excited. Puck Shy by Kayla Gross. This is another book that I listened to on Audible, and oh my god, girl, this is a spicy Valentine novella. So it's just this book, no plot, only spice. You have MF scenes, you have FFM scenes, you have FMM scenes. It's like you get everything in this book, and you know, sometimes it's what the heart needs. Oh my god, yes. Another 5-star read that I could say with my whole damn chest is Kid by Jescie Hall. This is for sure in my top 5 favorite books ever. Now, there is a trigger warning at the beginning of this book that says, this book contains heavy elements of drug use throughout. This book also explores theme of self-inflicted pain, addictions, discussion of suicide and general trauma, graphic sexual content and mature scenes, some with multiple partners, and knife play. I cried when I read this book. I relate to a lot of different things when it came to this book. I had a pretty questionable patch in my late teens, early 20s that what was happening in this book was something that I could correlate to my real life. So when you read a book that just resonates deeply with you, I think that's what helps elevate it into a 5-star read. And that's this book for me. Even now in my current life, some of the things that the main female character was saying, I was like, damn, girl, I get it. I get it. I get what you're saying and I relate to it. So I love this book. Next, we have 3 books by Jamie Applegate Hunter. We'll start with Viciously Yours, another book that I quite enjoyed. If you like fae romances, like fated mates, like kings and princes and stuff like that, but you don't necessarily want to read a book that is super thick and you have to do the world building and you have to deal with the drama, you really just want that fated mates fae romance, that's what this is, girl. And the main male character in this book is completely unhinged, but he's like obliviously unhinged. He doesn't realize that the things that he is doing is like over the top. He's doing what he thinks needs to be done in the name of his mate, but even his mate is like, come on, man, take it down a notch. I enjoyed this book. It's the first, technically it is, I think Jamie Applegate Hunter is calling this a novella. I enjoyed it a lot and I can't wait for the other novellas in this series. Next, we're moving on to a duology. We have the Vincula Realm duology. The first book is The Umbria King. The second book is Altrinum. I love this duology. The first book is definitely setting the scene, setting the pace, as it is most of the time in duologies or in series, where the first book is just we're learning what we're working with, and it really delivers in Altrinum. And the ending of this book, I'm still not satisfied with. I need more. I need to know what the hell just happened. And Jamie Applegate Hunter is writing, I'm not sure if it's another book in this series, because as far as I know, this is just a duology. I think it might be a spin-off or an additional book to the series. I'm not quite sure. The main female character in this book is a serial killer, and she is doing it in the name of vengeance for her sister. And she gets caught and she gets sent to jail. When she gets sent to jail, it was almost like the stars were aligning and she was meeting her true destiny and her true fate. And we figure out what the hell actually happened by the end of Altrincham. And this is the first series that I have annotated, and I have been trying to get into annotation, and it's been so much fun. It's like, one thing that I notice when I'm reading is I'm just like reading the book and it's like I'm almost like powering through for some reason, but when I annotate, it really slows me down and it like makes me catch these moments that if I was speed reading I would have missed, and I am enjoying it so much. And even when I did it with this, it was just like, magic system in this book I thought was really good. And something that I appreciate too is at the beginning of this book you have a layout. So this is a pronunciation guide. Love that. Thank you so much. And then you have a world guide where it kind of goes over the magic system and everything in here. So if you get confused while reading the book, you can kind of flip forward to the front and figure it out. I had no problems while reading with the world building and understanding what was happening with the magic systems and whatnot. But if you get confused, because it can be kind of confusing, the world guide is at the front, which is much appreciated. I can't believe I almost completely forgot about this book, which is crazy to say because it's quite unforgettable. On the Kindle, I read The Teacher by Freida McFadden. The fuck? Oh my god, this book makes me feel some type of way for multiple reasons. I've seen people say that they think that there should be a trigger warning at the beginning of this book, and I low-key agree. Trigger warning should be grooming, child grooming. As much as the storyline was literally making me feel something, I remember once I realized what was actually going on, I like sat straight up out of bed and like wanted to throw my fucking Kindle. And that's the first time that that's actually happened, where I wanted to just like beat something up. Because what? As much as this book made me physically feel things, which, you know, is the point of reading. It's what we enjoy reading. I want to read a book that's going to make me have some type of emotion. This, I don't know, like, I don't know how. I struggle with the rating because the subject matter in the book is like, whoa. But the way it made me feel was definitely very strongly. I had strong feelings about it. So, I don't want to say that I enjoyed it, but for a thriller, for a psychological thriller, it definitely was good. And by the end of the book, I had to read the ending multiple times to just be like, I read that right. I did read that right. What? It is, when I'm filming this, February 27th. There are a few days left in February. I plan on finishing 2 books before the end of this month. I'm going out of town on the 29th, so I'm trying to film some videos now so I can enjoy my little getaway when I leave. I am currently reading Bloodsport by Chloe Higgins. She is an indie author, and as far as I'm aware, this is her debut novel. I am 100 pages in. I'm also annotating this book. Something that I'm really enjoying about this so far is Chloe Higgins, the author. She's taking little moments during scenes of this book to describe the surrounding areas, and when authors do that, it really puts me in the scenes. Like, she's describing these little things that, you know, when you're out in a nightclub, you're noticing these things, but sometimes it doesn't make it in the book. Chloe is taking the time to put the world building in that way, and I love it. I love when authors do that. And the storyline itself right now is really good. On the front, it says, he's a vampire and her brother's best friend. What could go wrong? Now, I don't know what it was that made me want to read a vampire book. I don't know, but it was here. And so I picked it up, and now I'm reading it, and I am enjoying it so far. The second book I plan on finishing before the month ends is What Did You Do by Janine O'Reilly. And I'm so excited to read that book. It comes out tomorrow, technically tonight at midnight, so I gotta finish this book before midnight. If I don't finish this book before midnight, that's fine. It's going on the back burner so I can read What Did You Do by Janina Riley. I don't know what it's about yet. I don't know nothing. I haven't read it. I wish I could tell you about it. I will one day. It was a pretty decent month. It was definitely more of a romance, contemporary romance type month, but it'd be like that sometimes. But that's everything that I read in February. What did you read? Let me just say, if you read one book, if you read 2 books in the month of February, girl, congratulations. It's not a competition. Any amount of reading, if you are enjoying what you're doing, it's a win. It's not a competition. I'm so happy that you even read a book. If you didn't even read a book and you're still watching this video, maybe you want to read a book. That's super awesome and I think you should. That's everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching my video. I love you. Bye.